There are two ways the official community plan can ensure it reflects the realities of Moose Jaw's context. One is through engagement, where we work to find out what is important for citizens and investors, and what inspires them to put down roots or cash in Moose Jaw. It is these citizens and stakeholders that co-create cities and can influence its success or its demise. The second way is to get to know Moose Jaw by looking at a variety of data sources and comparing these to trends in society and urban planning. We looked at the population trends through Moose Jaw's history and observed a 20-year growth average of 0.43% per year and a 10-year growth average of 0.48%. Together with trends in immigration, we expect this pattern of steady, conservative growth to continue. Who comprises the population of Moose Jaw? Here we see the largest cohort from 15 years ago, 2006, in green. They're known as the boomers. Moose Jaw has been successful in maintaining this population and also in their children, the echo boom or millennials that are shown in red. As you see in the 2021 graph, they are still here through their family formation stage, and it is this group that has also brought Moose Jaw a significant new population of children and youth shown in purple and known as Gen Z. This success in retaining successive generations is the reason the city's economic development marketing brags that you can get a life in Moose Jaw. The ability for Moose Jaw to continue to retain youth, or Gen Z, is reliant on meeting their needs for housing, jobs, and quality of life. These are also the factors that help Moose Jaw attract migrants to maintain its competitive advantage as a city, and to ensure that it remains an age-friendly city. Change and development of the community to achieve these goals are where planning can add the most value. The generational waves in Moose Jaw's population create a complex environment, and the official community plan can and must identify policies responding to this complexity. Affordable housing is one of the keys to economic prosperity of any community. Housing is a major expense for most households. Moose Jaw offers an affordable choice to residents today. The average rent uses 26% of median income, and homeownership uses 30%. Providing a range of housing options within a community is a sign of health. The housing stock in Moose Jaw is aging, however, and a greater range of housing options will need to be provided if economic opportunities are to be realized and growth is to be sustained. On average, Moose Jaw's housing stock is older than other similar communities within the province. Diversity of housing is another issue in Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw is comprised mainly of single-unit dwellings at 71%, which is considerably higher than most urban centers. Housing types and where housing is located are a function of urban planning. Urban planning and the resulting form of a city plays a large role in determining costs for services and infrastructure, as well as affecting costs for investment in housing. Many cities are adopting smart growth principles to adopt a more compact urban form that uses existing infrastructure and assets more effectively and efficiently through density. Where density does exist in Moose Jaw, it is not in the right place for maximizing affordable lifestyles for households, nor does it support existing shops, services, and community facilities. We can learn about improvements in these areas by looking at a planning trend called smart growth. Smart growth comes from a recognition that cities that grow by developing new land at their edges, called greenfield development, must constantly increase property taxes to cover the high costs of extending infrastructure and services. Residents and businesses also find it expensive as they absorb ever-increasing costs for private transportation and longer time traveling to destinations. This pattern of growth takes a toll on the environment by reducing or threatening habitat areas and creating pollution. As we get to know Moose Jaw, we can consider how these smart growth principles might fit. locating residences close to shops, services, and community facilities. Moose Jaw's commercial clusters have few nearby residences. Building sufficient density, which means 12 to 20 dwelling units per acre to support local shops and services. In Moose Jaw, densities range between 0.06 dwelling units per acre, as shown in the yellow regions of the map, to 6.5 dwelling units per acre, shown in the darkest red. Another principle is to offer a mix of uses to attract pedestrians and design streets and public spaces to encourage people to stay and meet. In Moose Jaw, we notice that parking predominates the commercial clusters. Looking at where people live versus where they work and shop, you also see potential issues for moving around Moose Jaw. Often distances between home and work, shops and services are too far to walk. Safe cycling routes are also difficult to navigate. Cities that embrace the principles of smart growth plan land uses to promote a variety of choices for moving around. By locating a mix of uses within easy walking or cycling distance, more public and private land can be available for productive use, instead of parking for private automobiles. More choices for moving around generates a variety of benefits: lower capital costs to municipalities and private property owners, a more active population with improved health outcomes, greater equity across all segments of the population due to improved access to amenities and services, and less environmental harm. So what smart growth principles might we consider for Moose Jaw? Provide safe routes for a variety of transportation choices. We see in Moose Jaw that pedestrian, bike, transit, and road facilities lack a coordinated plan to ensure connectivity and ease of use. Create walkable neighborhoods that include shops and services to meet daily living needs. Moose Jaw's shops and services are largely clustered outside residential areas, and few options for shopping are located in the west portion of the city. Transit options link destinations to generate ridership. Moose Jaw's transit service is based on a coverage model to reach as much of the city as possible. This model trades frequency for coverage. Cities are increasingly recognizing the economic, social, and environmental benefits derived from natural assets as part of green infrastructure. Natural assets can provide stormwater management services equivalent to their engineered counterparts, while also being resilient to climate change and less expensive to install and maintain. Natural assets can sequester carbon, reduce the heat island effect of cities, provide wind protection, particularly in winter, retain and filter water, provide local food, and offer cultural and recreational benefits that improve quality of life, and does so more cheaply than other capital interventions and strategies. From learnings from smart growth principles, we might see Moose Jaw take advantage of nature's benefits, which go beyond recreation, to include infrastructure and food. Moose Jaw has significant areas of nature suitable for including as green infrastructure. Preserve natural areas and incorporate developed lands into a connected system. Moose Jaw's floodway, flood fringe, and other open spaces provide opportunity for this connectivity. And learn from and include in First Nations and Métis people, communities, and ways of knowing the land. We see in Moose Jaw that reconciliation commitments include expanding relationships.